Hi, welcome to the Kirsch podcast. My name is Karo and this is a video podcast where I like to show you all my cross stitch. Welcome to my channel. There's again been a few new subscribers since my last video that seem to have done well for whatever reason. It's always a mystery with YouTube and which videos do well and which don't. But I'm happy that you liked my last episode. So yeah, welcome if you've been here before, and also welcome if you are new here. And I'm guessing you like cross stitch, and that's what we're going to talk about. I have tons. I have 7 projects. You want to see my enormous stack? Yay! Nearly all of them in pretty project bags. I'm getting pretty good about making project bags, but I haven't made any new ones because I've been on vacation the past 2 weeks. So yeah, I had quite a bit of time to stitch, and maybe let's just dive in just as a general guidance. We're going to talk about those 7 whips. I have some plans. I want to do a thing in the coming weeks, so we'll see if that happens. And I'll probably talk a bit about books. I've continue listening to the books I started talking about last episode already, and yeah, maybe a bit of life probably sprinkled in between. Yeah, that's the plan. So mainly whips, 7 of them. So I don't want to dwell too long. So let's just get started with that. And yeah, I sorted them sort of as I was stitching on them. So we're going to start with a project that I picked up the first after the last episode, which I think has been like 3 weeks now. I'm looking at my calendar here. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, it's like 4 weeks. Yeah, it's basically exactly 4 weeks. Wow. So yeah, it's been a month, I guess, since we've last talked. Yeah, but I stitched on my... It doesn't really have a proper name. I'm calling it sometimes woodland, sometimes I'm calling it dark fairy tale. It is based on the dark Cinderella chart that is the artworks by Barrett, and it is charted by Pain-Free Crafts. I got the chart but ended up charting this one myself, but this is the final image of what I'm planning on stitching. And what I did, I basically chopped it in half and then I exchanged some imagery. Right here, there in the original artwork, there is a lady standing at a lake shore and not that stag. So yay, but that's what I'm stitching on. Really love it. It's my newest full coverage start. It's living in this project bag that I made myself. I made all my project bags myself, but I'm going on a retreat in the fall and I'm hoping to maybe buy some cool project bags there. But yes, so I kept on going. So how many stitches did I add here? I added 961 stitches. And yeah, I think I mainly stitched down here. Last time I think I was talking about how I want to take this area all the way across. But then I realized if I keep on going with the diagonals, I basically will have to move my hoop every single time with a new diagonal, because I'll need to keep it kind of accessible here on this side, but I'll need more space this side. So I didn't feel like moving my hoop for every new diagonal. So the new plan that I have is kind of, yeah, finishing down the diagonal to here and then doing kind of the reverse diagonal. So do that block, then those 2, then those 2, 3, I guess, 4, 5, and so on. Filling out my hoop that way. Still sort of working within the diagonal, but that will mean I'll have a bunch of light blue colors first and then the dark. So we'll see if that works out for me, but that is the current plan anyways. Stitching this one on 25 count, a 2/1 tent with painting fairy floss. This is my first and only project so far that I'm trying the new floss on, and I really like it, and I'll probably use it for more projects going forward because it feels very good stitching wise, and it is very affordable in comparison to DMC. It's a bit more expensive than CXC, but definitely way more affordable than DMC. Okay, I think that's all. Moving on. but let me at least put it back in the bag. Okay, the next project I picked up was Pumpkin Spice Cottage, which also lives in a handmade bag. And this one actually received, it's very clinky, maybe I'll have to remove one of those tags. It's received one of my new features. I had this idea, I think I saw in a Facebook group, somebody who did these tags, but just with a little note thing in there where they've written down the project to be able to find them in project bags. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to just have the picture, the project picture in there? So I got these, which is like the image inside is just passport pictures. And I printed out a bunch of passport picture size little images of my projects. And now I can find them very easily. If I don't recognize them with their bag, I'll recognize them with their tag. But yes. So in this bag lives my first Gecko Rouge project that I ever started and got as a kit from Gecko Rouge, called Pumpkin Spice Cottage, and the artwork is by Kate Brazier. I started this on my birthday 1.5 years ago, last year, together with Anna from the Alchemist Stitcher, because her birthday is super close to mine. And yeah, we both started in the bottom with the fun colors, and now my mission is to work my way up to the owl. Ideally until the fall, but we'll see if that happens. And yes, I put a few more stitches into this. Basically working on this page. I finished this one last episode already, so I put in a few stitches into the next page. I think it was less than 1,000, yeah, 863 stitches. Just working on that page. Nothing special to mention here. This is stitched also on 25 count, but this is 1/1 full cross with the kit floss, which is DMC if you order a kit with Gecko Rouge. And yeah, love this project. Love the colors. The window was very, very fun. And excited. It's right now the contrast is pretty crazy between the house and the window, but we're obviously missing the frame, so I guess that'll blend in a bit better once the frame gets stitched in. Okay, let me get this back here. There's a lot of floss in this bag as well. Okay, so I don't have to close the bags. Good, the next project. That one brings me back to Mylestönn Manor. So I haven't really been stitching on my Mylestönn Manor stuff much lately because I was a little bit fed up with it. I think I was stuck in the kitchen with my Ragnarok. Oh yeah, I remember. Actually, yeah, I was in the kitchen and I really wanted to move on into the pantry where I have my winter piece, which we'll see this episode. But then I had a life update because I hit milestones and had enough experience points to do a life upgrade, and that means you get kicked into the entry hall again, which I didn't want to do because I wanted to go in the other direction. I wanted to go in the pantry, but then I was stuck in the entryway, so I was stalling a little bit on going there. But it is a project that I want to get a ton of progress on this year because I stated this to be my focus project for the year. This one I call Amazing Loon. I charted this one myself. It is based on the Heaven and Earth design chart, Amazing Grace, which is artwork by David Bartlett. But he has a swan in here and also not the shadow figure. It's basically just the background that I took from that image and then again recharted it myself with the color list of the Heaven and Earth Designs chart. But yes, obviously I put in that loon and that shadow figure. And yeah, so I had to do 1,600 stitches on the loon for that turn that I rolled for, and I did that in the background because I finished the loon before, so I put in a ton of work right here. So I'll add in the before picture but you'll definitely be able to tell a difference there. So the plan is basically to work this one down kind of to where the Loon goes, and I think then I'll move over to the other side and work it down there, and then maybe do a page by page across the row or something like that. Yes, but nothing else to say. There is nothing visible showing up here. It's just blobby, blurry background, but I don't mind stitching that at all. I had a commenter asking me about that. Honestly, the thought hasn't really crossed my mind that I might get stuck on a background, because I just love the colors. Like, the colors just sing to me. But I guess I will have the shadow figure that I still have to stitch as something exciting to go for if I'm too bored with this project. But right now, I'm not worried. And actually, I finally remember something, a pretty not so minor detail about this project. I always forget telling you about it, but I want to come clean. I have something to admit to you guys. This isn't a full coverage. Like, in my head for the longest time, like, yeah, the past 2 years basically that I've been stitching on this project and talking about it, I've treated it as a full coverage project, because up here it absolutely totally is, but down here it isn't. And to my shame, I have to admit, I used this in the full coverage group as part of the Stitching to the Moon thingy, where we called our group Blue to the Moon. And I used this project as part of that. But yeah, it's not a full coverage according to the rules of that group. So I'm terribly sorry. Kim, if you're watching this, shame on my head. But I don't know why. I just totally blanked. Like, in my heart, this is sort of a full coverage. Because yeah, it totally is up here. But yeah, basically to that line that I'm planning on stitching on, I didn't even realize. But yeah, all this white isn't stitched. I mean, I think I charted it as stitched. But I know in the Heaven and Earth design chart that isn't intended to be stitched. And I did take, like, for all my percentage numbers and stuff, I did take out the background. So my numbers are assuming that I'm not stitching that white, and I don't think I'm planning on stitching that white. So I don't know why I ever considered this one as a full coverage, but yeah, it isn't. This is a non-full coverage. So yes, I'm sorry. I guess a year later I'm disqualified from the Blue to the Moon stitching because I've used the wrong project. I'm sorry, guys. I know there's a few of you still watching my episodes that were part of our group. Don't tell anybody. Okay, anyway, so I finally got that off my chest. It kept coming to me, and I was like, oh, God damn it, why do I never remember actually on my podcast? So I'm happy I finally did remember. Again, project bag made by me. Love it. Okay, next project. Did I even tell you how many stitches I put into that? Yeah, I guess I said I rolled for 1,600 and I added 17 stitches more than that. And then, so I worked on the Loon, and in order to get to the pantry where my winter project is sitting, I still needed to go through the kitchen again. So I was like, okay, what the hell? It's Mylestönn Manor. I'll move through my house. And yeah, I don't know. I haven't shown this in like eons, so maybe just as a reminder, right? Like, this is my entryway. This is where my Loon is, and I was in the kitchen and I wanted to go to the pantry, but got kicked back there because of the life update. Great. So in order to get to that pantry to stitch on that project that I'm missing a lot, I needed to go through the kitchen again. And what did I roll? I was hoping for something low, but of course I rolled for, hang on, let me check. It was a ton, 2,240 stitches. And this is a full cross project. So that's what I had to do on my Ragnarok. And I actually have a little bit of a predicament I'm in with that project. But let's first just look at that, because I actually managed to finish that stitching. I think it took me the whole 2 weeks of my vacation. I rolled for that basically the day before we drove to our lake house, which is where we spent our vacation. But I'm happy to tell you guys, hang on, I managed. But let's first look at the finished thing. So this is Ragnarok. It's my only long dog sampler that I have going. I love it, but I also hate it. I'm not very good with counted cross stitch. Even though I don't make that many mistakes in this project, but I guess the style of stitching is just, I don't know, I just prefer full coverage. But I do love this project, and once I get into a groove, I actually do enjoy it. Yeah, this is by Long Dog Samplers. Did I say I started this kind of as the leap year project in 2024. I'm not going to finish this by 2028, but I'm trying to push it forward, and I do want it done eventually. And yeah, so I added 2,251 stitches. So this is the full thing. The contrast isn't ideal on this project, but depending on the lighting, and sometimes when I take a picture, it actually looks really good. But yes, the area I actually worked on is all of this. And then also this leaf. Is that leaf complete? Yeah, it is complete. I did start even on the new next one. But yeah, that is all my progress. That was a bunch of milestones actually, because I just barely hit the corner. So I made it all the way across. I'm very happy that I managed to actually start in the center as I planned, because the margin on both sides looks good. Yeah, my thread virtually ran out right there, and I just wanted to make it to the corner. But I also hit a second milestone, because this project now sits at 28.34%, which means I crossed over the threshold of 25%. So yeah, I hit 2 milestones on this. Yay, yay, yay. Which actually meant that I drew a new card. Here I can show you my 2 active cards that I need to do right now. I need to hit a milestone. The card's telling me in the dining room, but I'm actually changing that to hit a milestone in the living room, because I really also am missing my Lara Croft piece. So I'm just gonna take the executive decision on doing that. And the other one I need to do is visit the entry hall and the stairs in level 1. So also have to accomplish that somehow. I don't know, I guess I'll see which I feel more like doing first. Those are both active, so I can kind of fulfill those goals as I'm going. And yeah, I actually have my current turn on this one as well, but I haven't started, so I need to put another 450 stitches into this project to complete that turn. I actually just received a reward for 500 extra stitches on Ragnarok, but that's not really a reward for me. So maybe I'm not going to redeem that reward. But the problem that I have, because as I was stitching on this project during my vacation with my floss, I realized I'm kind of running low on my floss, but I knew I had at least another one of these at home that would continue, but I know whatever was on here when I started is the same amount that is on here now, which means if this got me to a quarter and probably a little bit more like 30%, probably this will then get me to 60%. So I was like, oh no, am I going to run out of floss at home? And so that was all on vacation, right? So I started thinking, because I have this little handy dandy printout here, which helps me for my Mylestönn Manor game. Those pink lines are my sort of page lines. So whenever I finish everything that's within that, I count that as a page line. But maybe you can tell I colored in some of these areas, like in the camera scheme, I can't really tell. But yeah, I did the boat, I did this boat, I did those leaves, yes. That eagle, this dragon, this hound, and those 3 wise women, I think they are called. Oh, crones? No, the 3 crones, I think they're called. in a darker color because I was thinking I may have to either like dye. Ooh, now the lighting is good. Now you can definitely see. I might have to dye some new floss, and then I was thinking of maybe intentionally dyeing it darker to kind of, yeah, pop out raised images because, and yeah, I was thinking about that because I thought I would be running out of floss. But actually, coming home now, I found this. So this is actually the soap, the way I bought it, in white. Hang on, let me just take this out. And I actually dyed another skein. So this, I think, is basically the same amount again of what I have here and that I've already stitched. So this could technically bring me to 100%, but you can probably tell this one is actually already darker. It definitely looks darker, and I don't know, you tell me, but yeah, it definitely looks darker. Maybe I need to open this up and see it side by side. I don't know. I had this one in my drawer the whole time. So now I'm thinking, because I can't remember having like this obvious of a difference between, yeah. On screen it definitely looks darker. I don't remember. Like maybe this is light, because this one has been sitting out. That one has been sitting in that glass case wardrobe thingy. So I did get some light. Ooh, my camera is overheating. That's not good. What am I going to do there? I might have to find a cool pack or something. Yeah, so I don't know what to do. Is that dark enough? That is my question. What should I do? Because I definitely will need either this or some other type of floss to continue the project, to finish it. And I was thinking of doing those elements in, as I was thinking about this, just a obviously darker thread. Is this one obviously dark enough? Will it matter if I just stick this thread in those areas and then it's just a very subtle difference? You know where our question goes. Or should I just opt for a completely different thread, like a different color, or just dye this again and make it much, much darker? Will this eventually fade out to this? I have no idea. I am uncertain what to do. I really am. And I need your help. Let me know, please, down in the comments. What would you do in my spot? Would you use this? Would you over dye it again? Try to get it darker? Would you just buy something? You could also just get some Silks for You silk or something in a blue. But then I run the risk that it won't really vibe well with that. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. And as you guys are thinking about that, let me get something cold for my camera. Okay, so I had a tiny little break. My camera now has a little cooling, here, I'll show you, little cooling thing over top it, but it seems to like it because it stopped showing me the heat sign. And I had a little chat with my husband, who actually also just came home, which I didn't notice because I was blabbing at the camera. So, but yes, let me know. Now you've had some time to think. 2 seconds. What should I do? What should I do? Should I stitch those areas in that blue? Is that contrast enough? Probably not, because you can barely tell there. But I never planned for that. Because the other thing, yeah, I guess I should mention that. I would have to rip out that bird. I guess the pro with using this, if it really isn't much of a difference, maybe I don't need to rip out that bird and restitch that. But if I end up doing this with a contrast color, I feel like I have to do that bird again, because then otherwise, because I stitched this corner already. Maybe I should go back to this, because yeah, I already stitched that bird. And it's a little bit late in the game to start doing contrast color things. God, when I show it like this, it seems like there is zero contrast. Like I can't see anything on the camera screen, but that's because it's tiny. But yeah, when I photograph it, it looks really nice. Maybe I can insert a photograph picture when I finish this. And then you can maybe see it a little bit nicer. But yeah, let me know what you think. Looking at it like this, there is a pretty obvious difference. I keep showing you the same thing. It is pretty obviously different. I think I'll just try and then see. But yes. That's my little predicament I am in with this project. And yeah, I guess I'll have to sort of make a decision soon on this before I seriously continue stitching the project. This I don't need to put back. The floss I need to put back. Oh, it's so hard to keep this stuff not tangled. Okay. Oh. But the next project. So, as I said, I wanted to get to the pantry because in the pantry we have my winter piece. And I actually already stitched on this piece before I was done with Ragnarok. It took me like 2 weeks to finish those over 2,000 stitches, and I just really wanted to stitch on this, and I was like, whatever, I'll just stitch on it. So I put in quite a few stitches before I actually did a turn on this, but I also had a turn. I think the turn in the Mylestönn Manor asked for 1,100 stitches, but I actually added, and now all my screens and everything turned off. Sorry guys. I actually added 2,135 stitches, and I also moved the hoop, but I think there's everything in the hoop that you guys need to see. So I think the page that I finished before doing the Mylestönn Manor stitches is this one. This one wasn't finished before. And then I started stitching in this page. So on my turn, I actually didn't hit a milestone, but the project hit a milestone of that page finish. Yeah, and there's a ton of light stitches here, which you can't really tell. Like you can see, I have a few parked threads from when the hoop was still here, but then I moved it over, because I am stitching this one page by page and I just want to move across. I'm even thinking of maybe doing just a 2-block row, kind of what my original plan on my dark fairy tale piece was, but I always kind of go back to bigger areas and filling the hoop because I don't want to move the hoop constantly. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm finally getting a little bit more into her hair. So I haven't even shown you what this project will look like once it is done. Let's backtrack. So this is what the thing will look like. And I started in this corner, and yeah, like I was working in this area and I started getting into her hair here. So let's look back at that. And yeah, this one is called Winter by Pax Closet, which is an Etsy shop. The charting isn't great, but I do like the look of it. But yeah, there's a lot of dithering going on and a lot of confetti. You can definitely tell difference to Gecko Rouge charting, but I love the project. I love the colors, even though, yes, they're very light currently. And it keeps going on like that. There is no end in sight. So yeah, this is the area where I'm in, and it basically all this is all gonna be pretty painful to stitch, but, and yeah, I guess those areas also will be, but that's a problem for the future. But yeah, there's a big chunk of light colors everywhere in there, but I like it. I'm stitching this 25 count, like everything here. 2/1 tent, and this is a mix of DMC and CXC. Mainly CXD, I think. Yay. So I stitched on this finally, because it's been a while. I don't know when the last time was where I actually put some progress into this, but yeah, I've been missing this project and I'm happy I got a decent chunk done because it's probably going to take a minute, at least for Mylestönn Manor, before it comes up again. But I can always pick it up when I want. I'll just have to be okay with the milestones that I might hit, not counting for the game. But honestly, I have so many lives that I never run out of lives. It seems like I'm always just upgrading because I'm hitting all the milestones. So I think it's actually not that bad if I hit a few milestones out of the game, because then I might actually die every now and then. Which isn't that the end goal. Okay, so that is all my Mylestönn Manor, and we had a very, very hot day on our vacation, and it seems that I'm always drawn to this project when it's getting super hot outside. As you can see, I'm sweating, so maybe I'll pick this one up tonight. This is another Gecko Rouge that I got through their Patreon, so I did not get this as a kit, and this is Snowman Cottage. Again, the artwork is by Kate Brazier, and tried it by Gecko Rouge, and I just cropped it 20 rows, but I cropped it kind of in the middle of the chart and not on the side. So this is basically a square, and the other change I'm doing, I'm stitching this as a non-full coverage because I am not stitching the snow. So I removed the background, so to speak, and I have a row finish. Woohoo! So I added not too many, 343 stitches. But that got me the row finish. So I think I really only stitched on this the one day, finished that row, and then that was that. So it's a page and a row finish. So I actually reduced the size of the rows now. I had to regrid the bottom down here because everything, I don't know, just faded out. Didn't get wet or anything. I think the sun is just fading this pen, which is good news to me because I don't want to see that up there. And yeah, so I'm now gonna do pages on my way back, I think. I haven't really started on it, but yes, now we're getting into a little bit more full coverage. This is kind of the edge of where the full coverage will start. So the bottom of the page will be full coverage, and the top will probably still be a little bit with just background showing, at least in this area. Eventually here will come the house. That one is all full coverage. So yay! Not much else to say. I'm stitching this on a 25 count Zweigart fabric. This is opalescent. Here, a little bit of shine, which I thought is perfect for the fabric showing through as snow. Stitching this with DMC 1/1 full cross. Now I think I said everything. And then the last project that I worked on, actually on the drive back, is my Lola Crow Sal that is currently going, called Museum After Midnight. And I am terribly behind. I actually wanted to show you the mock-up of where it is currently at. So we have not yet received all the clues, but this is as far as we've received. I think we're currently on a break week. I guess last Friday was the break week, and I think this Friday we'll get a new release. Yeah, and I started at the top center and worked kind of just in the top middle part there where the whale skeleton is hanging, and the plan is to move into that corner and then down there, because I feel like this arch is probably completed. And I don't like stitching with all these holes because I suck at counting. So I want to go to where the chart is complete, at least what I think is complete. And yeah, kind of work my way down from there. And I'm sure by the time I get there, we'll see more here. Can I spoil this? I'm sure people who do stitch this probably already guessed themselves, but I'm gonna say there's gonna be a mammoth right there. That looks like a mammoth. That hole in the middle there. If that's not a mammoth, I don't know what it is. But yes, now you're spoiled. Sorry. Anyway, so that's what it's supposed to look like, and here's where I'm at. So I added 699 stitches, which is actually a decent amount considering how little I put into this so far. So the whale is done, including the back stitch. So that is really nice. So yeah, basically now I'm kind of just doing everything I can up here, all the way to where I can then move the hoop to whatever. Here is something that I get in, yeah, this side, and then that arch that is kind of, that starts here. Like this is already where the arch would go. So I don't think I need to move the hoop that much, but yes, I kind of just want to get everything done here. I even got some spider webs going down here. But yeah, there's still some stitches missing in the frame. But yeah, so really liking this. This is stitched on an 18 count vintage Stormy Night from Zweigart, Ada. Not very modeled. It is a suggested substitute fabric. Like she has a suggested fabric. I'm not using that, but she has like whatever, 2-3 other suggestions what you could use. So I went for this one because that's what I can easily get to here in Germany. And yeah, I enjoy how this looks. So I'm sort of excited that I finally put some more stitches into this. I'm not mad. It was never the plan to keep up with the sale, so that's fine. But yeah, I really have not been drawn to it at all. So I'm glad that I stitched on it a little bit. As always, it's mainly CXC that I'm using, but also DMC. I think I decided now that I kind of just want to use up all my CXC and then fade out into just using DMC and painting fairy. My full project, which I shown on my last episode, I'm stitching Extreme Cross Country, starting with a 310. There I'm using the DMC anyways because I have a Cone of Doom. And I think I already decided that the new colors that I'll eventually put in will be painting fairy, because I really like that floss, but I don't want to have 3 brands on the go. So I think I'll fade out the CXC, whatever I have now, and then I'll repurchase in the painting fairy. Not that you wanted to know, but now you do. Okay, but yes, so that is all my works in progress. Okay, sorry, there was a little bit of a cut here. I needed to get some water. It's just boiling here in Germany. I don't know why this summer never ends, but I wanted to talk about plants because I've had this idea. I kind of got thinking with what people are doing. You know, there's like this trend going through the community. I know like Jenn, the caffeinated crafter, Ebony from In Stitches with Ebony, and we're also doing this Siske from Siske Stitches. A lot of floss tubers are doing this stitching to a nice rounded number of stitches in the project, like 1,000 or 500 or something like that, and also to stitch to a specific percentage goal. So I like that idea, and was kind of looking at my projects and seeing if I could do something similar. I pretty quickly discarded the idea of trying to stitch to a rounded 500 or 1,000 mark because I finish my threads. I don't really like hanging threads. The only time I leave threads hanging is like if there's a ton of thread left and I'm just at the edge of my hoop or something, then I kind of park a floss, but I don't do the diagonal parking or stuff like that. It just doesn't really vibe with me that well. But I do like the idea of stitching to a percentage goal. And I still have my 2 projects that I have not touched this year yet. And I don't know why I don't just pick them up and put some stitches in, but I guess I want to get some, I don't know, I want to have a goal. And so I was thinking, first I was thinking to bring them all to their next 5% goal. And I deleted all those numbers now. I don't really remember what it meant, but I basically was just doing in my Notion, have a percentage goal, and then have Notion calculate how many stitches I need to do in order to get to the next 5% goal. And the sum of that was, I think something like 50,000, 60,000 stitches, which basically would mean I would be locked in that plan for the remainder of the year. That's about what I can expect to get done for the rest of the year. And I didn't really like that idea. I didn't want to get totally locked into that plan for so long. I was more looking for something to do for maybe a month or something. So I just reduced the percentage. So I didn't go up to the next 5% mark. I just went to the next 1% mark. And that actually gave me a nice number. I have a few projects where I specifically just wanted to add more and get more project, like my amazing Loon, because that's my focus piece. So there I actually did go to the 5%, the next 5%, but all the other ones I'm basically capping at just 1% further along. And the sum of those stitches to reach the next percent mark on all my project is 16,000 stitches. So that is slightly more than what I can get done in a month. Like my monthly average, I have this nice list that I'm keeping of all my numbers in the year in my little notebook, and I sum it up in the bottom here, and you can see I'm somewhere hovering around 10,000 stitches a month. Some more, some less. The last month, pretty spot on, 10,700 stitches. So yes, so this plan would maybe take me 1.5 months, I'm thinking. And the other thing why I wanted to start it this week is because I don't have kids and I'll have time in the afternoon. I want to try the vlog style again. I keep trying and I keep failing. I keep not really liking it, but I thought with this plan it might actually work, because the reason why it never really works is I'm a sweewee stitcher. I stitch what I want when I want. And so it's kind of hard to kind of keep track of that in a vlog style thing. But if I have goals, I want to work my way through all my whips, then I can show you, okay, now my plan is to do these 2 projects tonight and tomorrow, whatever, and I show you, and then we'll hopefully see after once I'm done with that goal. So that is kind of the idea, what I wanted to try. We'll see. So I guess once I'm done filming this, I'll just do my first little segment for the next video, and I guess I'll be my sweaty self again. And if I am in the video after we've seen this one, then you know it'll work. And otherwise we'll just see another roundup Flosstube thing that might also happen. But I like to try new things to just mix it up and make it a bit more interesting for you guys as well. So yeah, that is my grand plan. So just to give you an idea, like the amazing Loon will get the most work. That one needs 3,300 stitches to go to 55%. I'm currently sitting at 51% on that project. And the one that needs the least amount of stitches is my Blueberry J, which I'm not very sad about, because that project is just like, I'm stitching that on 46 count and I'm not a fan. I do want to keep going, but that project sits at 19.5%, and to get it to 20%, I only need to add 60 stitches. So I might maybe add another percent. What happens if I bring it to 21? Then I only need 175. Maybe that is bearable as well. The same, like, yeah, Museum After Midnight is now on the last spot with less than 100 stitches. So maybe I'll bring that one to 10%. What do I need? Then, ooh, that moved up. 700 stitches, but that's okay. Yes, so now we're at a total sum of 17,000 stitches. So that might already take me 2 months. So we'll see. So that is the plan. I don't really know how I'll work these projects. I'll probably start in this week actually with the smaller stitch goals that I get more segments in now where I have the time. And I feel like later when my kids are back as well, I won't have as much time to film in between snippets, but it will take me longer to do more stitches, if that makes sense. So yes, look out for that. We'll see if that works. So that's all my plans. And I guess then we can talk about books. So if you're saying goodbye now, I'll say goodbye back. Thanks for watching and hanging out with me. And look out for my next video. Maybe I'll even do them in shorter segments. We'll see. I don't think so because that never worked before. But whatever. Switching things up. Okay, books. So quickly, actually I don't have that much to say about books, to be honest, because I'm still listening to Aquatar. I just quickly looked back on my last episode and I just started with the third book in the series, Aqua War, A Court of Thorns, no, A Court of War and Ruin, I think. Which I already listened to before, but I totally forgot what was going on. And that one is full of war and not so much romance. I mean, there is romance, but it's an established relationship, so that the romance is always not quite as interesting because they already have each other. I did like the book, but it did get long in places, but I was interested enough to keep going. And the next book in the series was actually called A Court of Frost and Starlight, and that one is only a little in between book. Honestly, I don't even know if she released it in that order. I never looked that up, or if she kind of wrote. It feels a little bit like you know how they have this is book 1 in the series, book 2 in the series, and then there's book 2.5 in the series. It feels a little bit like a book, I guess in this case, 3.5 book, because there's nothing really happening in that book. It's just a little bit of tidying up the war situation, I guess, to then have a clean slate to prepare the book that I'm currently on, which is, what is that one even called? Oh, A Court of Silver Flames. And that one is kind of switching main characters. So the main characters, I guess in book 1 were Feyre and Tamlin. In book 2 it is Feyre and Rhysand. And then in book 3 it's still Feyre and Rhysand, but her 2 sisters come into focus more because something happened to them. It makes them more interesting. And then in the Court of Frost and Starlight, that weird in-between book, they actually have like perspective from multiple characters. So that is kind of interesting to get insight from all the other characters, because so far the book has been told from Feyre's perspective, I think, entirely. I don't even know we get Rhysand perspective. Do we? I don't know. Don't remember now. Maybe. No, I don't think you do. I don't think you do. But yeah, in the in-between book, you get Feyre chapters, Rhysand chapters, Cassian? Why am I forgetting his name? He's the main character currently. You got Nesta, just one little chapter. And Morrigan. You get her as well. So that is kind of cool to get their thoughts in their head and get their perspective on things. And yeah, and then now moving into A Court of Silver Flames, you have the 2 main characters, Nesta and Cassian. I feel like I'm saying his name wrong. I'm thinking of Cascadian, but that is a game that my kids have been playing today, and they've been asking me about the rules, so maybe that's why I'm confused right now. But yeah, so they are kind of a romance. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's a spoiler. I'm sorry. Spoiler ahead. But yes, they are the couple that the whole book is revolving around, and it's actually quite good. I found her in the big, like Nesta, and that is, I think, kind of the reason why I stopped listening to the series in general, because I really wasn't interested in Nesta. I really didn't like her at all, because she's a bitch, really. She's not a nice person all the way into this book, honestly. So I wasn't really interested in her neither, and also not in Cassian, because, I don't know, he's just this warrior general dude that, yeah, I don't know. I was just not too intrigued by him. There's this other character, Azrael, who is like the spy master of Rhysand's court, and I'm way more interested in him. I find him way more like mysterious and curious and stuff. So I'm happy to hear that apparently the next book that's coming out is apparent, or maybe we have a chance that it might be with him as a main character. But yeah, that would be good. I would like that. But anyway, so the book is about Nesta and Cassian, and I wasn't really interested in either one of those characters, and I think that's where I kind of dropped the series back when I started listening to the series like 2 years ago or something. Because yeah, this book I haven't even owned. So I did get the 10th anniversary recording by Elizabeth Evans, and I really like that one. So yeah, I really like the book. So currently I think I'm over halfway now into the story. Oh yeah, I have like 4 hours remaining. I think the total is something like 20 hours or something. So yes, I like it. And it's not just the romance that I like, even though it has a nice slow build, which is good. But I also like the whole lore. They have like cool figures, like they have the Valkyries that play a role, or like the lore of the Valkyries that play a role in this book. There is a bunch of like different difficult topics this book is working with, so definitely check up on your trigger warnings on this book as well. It's not as dark as the alchemized one that I was talking a few videos ago, but yeah, there is definitely some topics that could be difficult for certain people. But yeah, I think it's dealt with really well. Again, I found it very, very annoying in the beginning. Like Nesta was super annoying. She has a bunch of issues that she needs to work through. But in the beginning, you don't really know about them, and you just get her asshole character. And yeah, it really annoyed me quite a bit. And I couldn't quite understand why everybody kept having patience with her and giving her chances, especially Cassian. So yeah, that is all my book talk, really. I don't really know what I'll listen to once I'm done with this book. I guess I might do my Evergreen Academy one, because I still haven't listened to that one. But yeah, that's all. And yeah, life. I guess we could talk a bit about life. We were on vacation. It was lovely. We were at our lake house. I think I got some color, maybe a little bit. I'm very sweaty right now. The weather was okay. Like, it's definitely warm right now, and the second week was really, really nice. But the first week we definitely also had a bit of rain and quite a bit of wind, which is also not the most ideal if you're at a lake house where basically the whole plan is just swimming and bathing in the sun. But my husband was happy about that because he could sail on our sailboat that we built. Maybe I can add some pictures. So yeah, and we did some things. We went to a zoo type thing. I really like the one that is close to our lake house there, because they have this really nice area for wolves, where you basically have like a playground over top of the wolves, where you walk on like a hanging bridge type thing above the wolves, and they're kind of running around below you. So that is really cool. There's not just wolves there's also wildcats and what is that in English? Lynxes. So you're walking over top of different cages. They're not all mixed in the same cage, but you're kind of crossing over via those wooden structures, which is really fun to do for the kids, but it's also exciting as a parent, really, or just a grown-up. I mean, there's tons of couples that don't have kids with them that are in that zoo type thing. Yeah, anyway, so it's done really well. It has nice playgrounds as well, so we like going there every time we're at the lake house for our summer vacation. My son turned 4 years old while we were up there, so that was really exciting for him. We still have to do his birthday party, so we only did like a small thing up at the lake house because there's not that many people. My aunt came up because she lives fairly close to the lake house, and we invited some other people from other lake houses that are neighbors. to have some cake and stuff. But yeah, we still have the kids celebration to look forward to. My son more so than me. You guys probably know if you've been around for a while, I don't really love having to prepare birthday excitements and things like that, but at least I've done this age group before. Like now this will be the second time I have to prepare a 4-year-old birthday. It's the first party we make for him. Like at 3 years old, we only did like the within family at the lake house party, but this is the first one where he gets to invite other kids and have a little party. But yes, it's fairly easy to entertain 4-year-olds, so I'm not that stressed. I was definitely more stressed with my daughter and a bunch of 6-year-olds or 7-year-olds, I guess. So yes, I'm trying to be not too crazy about it. It's gonna be an underwater lion party, which I love. Blue decorations, and he wanted to also throw in the lion, so okay, good, we're gonna have a lion as well. So yes, we'll see if you have cool ideas what I could do for that party. I'm hoping it's gonna be as warm. That would be the one pro, because then we can just do some whatever water things in the garden. But yeah, if you have a cool idea for that party, go ahead, let me know. I think we're gonna do it in like 2 weeks or something. So I'm open for suggestions what you could do with a bunch of 4-year-olds for an underwater lion party. But yes, that is it. That is really all that has life to offer. I'm thoroughly relaxed. I'm back at work now, but again, I'm without kids, so that it's entire new vacation where I just get to have the afternoons to myself, which again, I'll probably fill with stitching and some video recording. And yeah, I hope to get back to you guys soon with my update on my stitching to percentages plan. Yeah, okay. That's it from me. Throw me an emoji. What type of emoji? A needle and thread, something like that. Let's stick to the topic of what